Good evening and welcome to the Hometown News TV. I'm John Young.
And I'm Laura Young. And in this week's paper, we have Harvey McKay. Kids teaches great lessons, and it talks about kids being creative, their honesty, and their perceptiveness towards things. Tom Keene, The Good Old Days, he talks about Halloween and some of the tricks that were played in the past. Dave says has two articles. One, owning a rental property, where that fits into the baby steps, and starting a new business, how to budget the expenses. And in John's article, The Small Town DIY, it wasn't that long ago, and it basically talks about the history of social media. And for this week's upcoming events. This Saturday night, October 28th, is Halloween night at many of the local bars. Shady's Golden Eagle Bar and Grill has a pumpkin carving contest. All Star Sports Bar, the Double R Bar and Grill, Time Out Bar and Grill, Shady's, and Elmdale's Watering Hole Saloon all have costume contests with prizes given out, so check out this week's Hometown News for all the details. Ed Walker and friends will be playing at the Swanville Senior Center on Monday, October 30th from 1 until 3 p.m. Our Savior's Women's Group craft sale will be held Saturday, November 4th from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. at Our Savior's Lutheran Church in Albany. Holdingford craft sale will be held Saturday, November 4th from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. at the Holdingford Legion and the Holdingford City Hall. Tuesday is Halloween, so get ready for the trick-or-treaters. Many of the Grey Eagle Bertram businesses will be open and ready to treat the little ones as they come in their costumes.
And don't forget to stop at the Village View. They've always got some great treats for the kids.
Residents of the Village View Apartments would like to invite you for some folk and old-time music on Wednesday, November 1st from 1 until 3 p.m. This week's obituaries include Marie K. Shermers, age 90, of Avon, died Friday, October 20th. Funeral services were held today, Thursday, October 26th at St. Benedict's Catholic Church in Avon. Joseph Gerrits, age 87, of Albany, died Sunday, October 22nd. Services will be held at 10:30 a.m. on Saturday, October 28th at St. Anthony Catholic Church near Albany. Pam Newis, age 58, of Little Falls, died October 8th of 2017. Services will be held on November 4th, 2017 at 11 a.m. at the Miller Carlin Funeral Home in Uppsala. And check out the full obituaries in this week's Hometown News. This week's birth announcements, we have Clint Edmund Wenker, was born Wednesday, October 18th, to Grant and Amber Wenker of Albany. And for anniversary announcements, happy anniversary is going out to Bob and Fran Ketter of Swanville. They will be celebrating 50 years. This week's photos, our front page photo was taken by Madonna Free by Mound Lake with her Witch on a Motorcycle. Minnesota Through the Lens was submitted by Amy Reeland with a beautiful sunset photo. Congratulations going out to Bob Lunch of the Double R Bar and Grill as he was inducted into the MLBA Hospi Hall of Fame. The Long Prairie Grey Eagle FFA hosted their annual DNR ATV training day. The students in Swanville are preparing for their play titled Just Another Snow Day, which will be performed on Friday, November 3rd, and on Monday, November 6th at 7:30 p.m. Watch for more details in this week's Hometown News. A couple of other articles of interest in this week's Hometown News is one relating to the new buffer law that will take effect on November 1st and the ditch mowing meeting, which will be coming up in St. Cloud. So check out this week's Hometown News for all the details on those. Paul Anderson's column this week with notes from the Capitol. He's talking about a new health insurance plan for ag workers that you might be interested in. This week we also have the Burnhamville Township and the Melrose City Minutes in this week's Hometown News, so check it out.
So on the route today, there are a few things of interest that I wanted to share with you. First off, in Melrose, just south of the freeway, is Arsenal Auto's site, which was taken out by the strong winds and the storm we had just a little bit earlier this fall. They're back and rebuilding. The walls are starting to go up and the posts were replaced, and they're going to hopefully be able to open things up here before the first of the year. Another construction project going on in Melrose is the renovation of the old Victory gas station into a Casey's. Yes, that's right, Casey's is now on the north side of the freeway as well as the south side of the freeway in Melrose. And the plan is to have both stores, both stations open at the same time, so you'll have a Casey's on either side of the freeway. So while today's show is being recorded, it's not too bad out there. I mean, it's cold, but we don't have the snow flying. That's going to change overnight and into tomorrow. Are you ready for the first substantial snow of the season?
I think, well, actually not. I know in the news last night they were saying that we're supposed to get anywhere from 3 to 5 inches, actually more 4 to 5 inches from what they were showing. But you know, we're probably going to get a foot because our snowmobile is in the repair shop. And that's probably when we're going to get our foot of snow, our one and only snowstorm of the year, and I won't be able to snowmobile.
And I'm not so really concerned about the snow because the ground is still warm enough where it's going to melt right away, but it's going to be that wind. They're talking a 20 to 30 mile an hour wind all day tomorrow, which is really going to be, with some snow and precipitation there, going to make it tomorrow kind of a tough day to maneuver and to get outside and do anything.
It actually got nasty today because it started off such a beautiful day. The sun was out. It was actually kind of nice. Wanted to go out and get some last minute projects done. And as the day continued, the clouds rolled in and the wind picked up, and it's actually kind of not nice out.
So for those of you who are watching this from the southern parts of the United States because you head south for the winter, if you left in the last few days, you chose a great time to leave.
We actually do have quite a few snowbirds that actually have went south already because their subscriptions have taken place and they're getting them down south.
So this past week, there has been a new rash of the IRS phone scam going on. Basically what this scam is you will get a call, and it'll say it's from Washington, D.C. on your caller ID. And if you answer it, they won't be there. What you'll end up happening is that they're trying to call and roll over to your voicemail system. Once it rolls over to your voicemail, then they leave a message, a computerized message that basically says, call this number because there's a problem and you have to call this number as soon as possible. Well, that particular number is only available for about a half hour. So you get that voicemail message and you're like, oh my gosh, it's from Washington, D.C. You call back and then it'll be like, hey, hello. And the person on the other end has got a very, very heavy accent. In the case of the one that I talked to, I would say it was kind of an Indian accent that I was talking to the person. What they do is basically tell you that you're being sued by the IRS and you're being sued because you have some delinquent taxes. Now, that's not going to happen because our taxes and everything are all taken, so we knew that it was a scam right away. But they will be persistent in saying that you have delinquent taxes and you will either have to take care of that and find a way to deal with it right now, or the sheriff's on his way to arrest you. And they are very, very persistent. I've had some friends and such who have had these calls, and they're like, wow, they just will not stop. They just continue to go. Basically, the IRS is never going to communicate with you by telephone. So if you ever get a call from anyone saying they're from the IRS, first off, no, it's not going to happen. They're going to send you a letter, and it's going to be that nasty little IRSogram that you get in the mailbox if there's ever an issue. Secondly, if they're asking for any kind of money or anything to that effect, no matter who's calling you, it's probably a scam and you don't want to get involved with it. That was a big thing that has happened throughout the last couple of years, but geez, this week it's been hitting my area in the DJ world because my DJ friends were all getting that same phone call. Maybe a lot of you are getting that same phone call. But if you see it, a weird number, and you don't know who it is on your cell phone, the best to let it go to voicemail, and then you can kind of look at it and see later if it's something that you need to call back and deal with, or if it's just a scammer trying to find a way to steal some money from your account.
We're going to close tonight's show with some great photos that were submitted by Amy Reeland, Linda Wenker, and Emily Garretts.
What about my photo?
Oops! And John has a photo too, sorry. I would like to close tonight's show. I'm Lori Young from the HometownNewsTV.com.
And I'm John Young. Thanks for watching.